It is Thursday, May 29th.
This is The Warning.
T.A.C.O. Trump always chickens out. That's the new faith that Wall Street traders bet billions and billions of dollars on. They look for patterns that are predictable, for the edge to know what's going to happen next. So in a split second, they can place the bet and take the profit. And the one enduring absolute when it comes to Donald Trump and his regime is their talent in that great American colloquial expression for chickening out. Buck, buck, buck goes the chicken. Now, a tasty bird for sure, but a dirty bird. And a contemptible one compared to the mighty eagle that Donald Trump is trying to clip the wings of with his orgy of corruption and incompetence and his imposition of surrender and weakness on the American government in crises after crises of his own making, born from his stupidity, from his idiocy, from his ignorance. And so it came to be that in the White House, we saw the best of what journalism is supposed to be when a young reporter fearlessly from CNBC asked Donald Trump to respond to his legend, to his reputation on Wall Street, amongst the traders, amongst the tough guys from the movies like Wall Street, where Trump looked at himself in the mirror so long ago and saw a version of Gordon Gekko. Those guys know the truth about Donald Trump, and they bet billions on it. Trump always chickens out. Now, Trump doesn't understand the question at first. Let's watch.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the T.A.C.O trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question.
Nasty question. But it's true. The Trump shuffle. There is always the boast, the declaration, I alone can fix it. Remember that one? He would end the Russian and Ukraine war caused by Russian aggression in, what was it, 24 hours?
This isn't my war. This is Biden's war, Zelensky's war, and Putin's war. This isn't Trump's war.
His weakness and his breaking of the Atlantic alliance has incited Vladimir Putin's aggression. Vladimir Putin is doubling down. Donald Trump has made Putin strong again by making the opposition Putin faces weaker, by dividing the Atlantic alliance. Donald Trump has set a signal to Vladimir Putin that if Putin pushes, he's pushing into a marshmallow, that Trump will chicken out and turn around. Let's look again to what Trump told the reporters in the Oval Office about the Chinese tariffs.
It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China.
It was started by his unilateral declaration and then his unilateral retreat. He started the war for the purposes of retreating. It was an act of aggression before a premeditated surrender. That was always in the cards. Trump talks about holding all the cards. Everybody knows what's in his cards. He makes ludicrous statements that he can't deliver on.
That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president.
You said you would end the Russia-Ukraine war on your first day in office. Where do things stand right now, and how do you intend?
Well, there's only half a day. I have another half a day left.
Trump's only feared in the Republican conference and amongst the appeasing Schumercrats. He's laughed at everywhere else in the world. Then Trump backs down over again and over again and over and over and over again.
And do you still believe that Putin actually wants to end the war?
I can't tell you that, but I'll let you know in about 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we're going to find out very soon. We're going to find out whether or not he's tapping us along or not. And if he is, we'll respond a little bit differently.
And then he says that he's strong and the golden age is here and America is great, when in fact, the bill for his wrecked economy hasn't even started yet to come due, but it will. Prices are rising. Inflation is rising. Jobs are going to be cut. The real estate market is collapsing. Trump has injected uncertainty while turning in the country fear up with masked goons that have been sent across the country by orders of his henchmen. Donald Trump is an agent of chaos and fear. That's certainly true, but he's weak and he's corrupt. He's a world-class demagogue, but that doesn't change the fact that he's ignorant. He is talented at a connection when it comes to selling grievance, but incompetent at achieving results. And it's always been that way. His takeaway from his first term was that being nice to Trump means telling Trump that he's a genius at all moments, every time anything is ever put in front of him. Trump knows best, and he has assembled a team of yes men and extremists and incompetents with disorders and derangements, from Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller to Howard Lutnick. All of these people are a wrecking ball riding it into our institutions. But Donald Trump is weak and vacillating. He wobbles. He cannot hold firm, and he will always blink first, always back down. It is the most predictable bet and pattern in the world. The American people delivered this office to Donald Trump with 49.5% of the vote, about 32% of the eligible population. Indifference will have a catastrophic price, but nobody should be afraid of a man so laughed at around the world. He's not feared outside of America. He's a figure of mockery and disdain. Anxiety for sure, but we could lower the anxiety of the world by facing the problem that we allowed to fester and create here at home, and deal with this in the election in 2026 and wipe from power the capitulant, compliant, rubber-stamped Congress that has allowed this disgrace to go on and on and on, and to allow the catastrophe that is unfurling to unfurl. Better days are ahead. Stronger men are ahead. Stronger women are ahead. Donald Trump, T.A.C.O. Trump always chickens out, just like his pal Elon Musk, currently crying and in hiding because the American people have disavowed him and hold him in the contempt he deserves, just like they will Trump and all of his henchmen as history unfurls, as it surely will. All of these people, every single one of them, will be scorned by history as we all play our role in a decisive hour where the American cause is being tested by people who despise it, who revile it, and are trying to smash it. Let's not let them. In the 250th anniversary of the year where the Declaration of Independence was signed, let's renew our faith in the country 250 years later with an act of defiance and dissent and repudiation. Let me leave you with this from Martha's Vineyard, an American citizen standing up to American Gestapo. Good for him. Do not be afraid. This is The Warning.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.